This website is real, it's finished, and it was built by a free AI tool running on my own computer. Here's the receipt. The entire thing, this whole course, cost 13 cents. Not $20 a month, 13 cents total. In well under an hour, you're going to build this yourself, step by step, even if you have never written a single line of code. I'll show you every click and every mistake, nothing skipped, nothing sped past without a label. The tool is called DeepSeek Harness. It's free and open source, and it just crossed 197,000 stars on GitHub in its first 2 weeks, one of the fastest launches ever. Everyone is demoing it. Almost nobody is actually teaching it. That's what this is. Here's the plan. Set up, together, every click. Your first job, the magic moment. The safety dial, so this thing never scares you. Then we build your website, unlock the power tools, put it on autopilot, and read the final bill at the end. One thing before we start, I made a companion PDF for this course. Every command, every brief, every fix, so you never have to pause and squint. To get it, comment the word HELM, HELM, and I'll send it to you. Let's set up. 30 seconds of picture painting, so everything else makes sense. The AI you've used before, ChatGPT, whatever, talks. You ask, it answers, and then you do the work. Harness is different. Harness does. It lives on your computer. It can read files, write files, run things, check its own work, and fix its own mistakes. It works in a loop. Think, do, check. Think about the job. Do a piece of it, check the result, and go around again until the job is done. That little circle is the entire secret. Every fancy feature in this course is just a better way to steer that loop. Think of it as hiring a very fast, very cheap worker who never gets tired and who asks permission before touching anything important. You're not chatting with it, you're giving it jobs. And it's free. The tool itself costs nothing. You only pay pennies for the AI's thinking time, and I'll show you that meter running the whole way through. Set up every single click. First, one free helper program called Node. Go to nodejs.org. Click the green button and it's next, next, finish. If you already have it, jump ahead 1 minute. Timestamps on screen. Now open the app called Terminal. On a Mac, press Command and Space, type Terminal, hit Enter. On Windows, search for PowerShell. This black window is just a place to type one instruction. And after this one line, you never need it again. Type exactly this: npx space at deepseek-ai/dsh space web. It's in the companion PDF and it's on screen right now. Hit enter. Take your time with this one. It's the only typing that has to be exact. npx is a little launcher that comes with Node. It fetches Harness and runs it. No separate install step. If you get an error that says command not found, that's page 5 of the PDF. Close the terminal window, open a fresh one, try again. It happens to everyone whose terminal was open before Node was installed. And your browser opens. This is Harness. Look at the address bar. 127.0.0.1. That address means it is running on your computer. Your files are not being uploaded anywhere. The very first launch takes a minute or two because it's downloading the tool. You'll see text scrolling, and that's normal. Every launch after this one is fast. When it's done, the browser pops open on its own. And from here on, this browser tab is the only place we work. First launch shows this note. It's a preview and it's moving fast, which is half the fun. Click Continue. Now it asks for an API key. Think of the key as a prepaid SIM card for the AI's brain. You get it at platform.deepseek.com. Sign up, click API keys, create one, copy it, put $5 on the account. Today's entire course will use well under one. Let me slow down on the key because it's the only step with a website involved. Platform.deepseek.com. Sign up with an email. On the left, there's a menu item called API keys. Click it, hit create, give it any name, and copy what it shows you. Then find the billing or top up page and put $5 on it. That $5 is your tank of fuel. And you've seen how slowly this thing sips. Paste your key here, see how it shows dots, so it stays secret, and click Save and Continue. Last step, give it a folder. Make a new folder anywhere on your computer. Mine is called Course. Then click this Add Workspace button. Pick your folder in the window that opens and click the folder when it shows up in the list. One more time, because this idea matters. A workspace is just a folder, and it's also a promise. Harness can only see and touch what's inside it. Everything we do in this course happens inside this one course folder. Your tax documents, your photos, the rest of your computer, invisible to it. And that's the whole setup. Checkpoint. You should see the whale, the box that says, describe what you want to build, and down here, remember these two, Workspace Write and DeepSeek V4 Flash. If you see that, you are ahead of 95% of the people who start that GitHub page. Pause the video here if you need to catch up. Seriously, this is a course, not a race. When your screen matches mine, Whale, Message Box, Workspace Write, V4 Flash, you're ready for the fun part. Before we build anything, I want you to feel what this thing is. This is my practice folder. 26 little stand-in files with all the classic names. Invoices, screenshots, notes, a file literally named ASDFGH. They're props, so I can wreck them safely. Yours will be the real thing. And the AI actually notices their props when it reads them, which I love. You can't sneak anything past this thing. Here's the first job in plain English. Look inside the messy folder and organize the files into tidy subfolders by type. Do not delete anything. That last sentence, do not delete anything, always add it to cleanup jobs. Send it. Now watch what it does, because this is the loop from module 1, live. It thinks. You can literally read its thinking. It looks at the files. It makes folders. And every step it takes shows up as a row in plain English. Look at the rows appearing. Context. It's reading the situation. Think, and you can open that row and literally read its reasoning in plain English. Now it's listing the files. Now it's deciding on categories. Archives, images, PDFs. Nobody wrote those categories. It looked at my files and invented the right buckets for them. And notice what you're not doing right now. You're not approving every file move. You're not watching a progress bar with no information. Every single action is a readable row. That's what makes this trustworthy enough to hand real work to. Almost done. And there's the summary in a full sentence. And look at the bottom strip. That's the meter. 1 turn, 7 steps. And it finished in 44 seconds. 85% of what it read came from cache, which is why this cost a fraction of a cent. The folder after. Archives, CSVs, images, PDFs, text, 26 files, 5 tidy folders, nothing deleted. I didn't tell it how. I told it what, and it figured out how. Quick ask while that sinks in. If this is useful so far, tap subscribe. It's free and it tells YouTube to send you the next one. Your turn. Learn, point it at your own downloads folder. Use my exact sentence from the PDF and keep do not delete anything on the end. Go. I'll wait. While you do it, one habit to copy from me, read the first 2 thinking rows before you walk away. 10 seconds. You'll learn how it approaches things and you'll trust it faster. When your downloads folder looks like my messy folder just did, come back. Now, the module most videos skip, and honestly, the most important one. You might be thinking, an AI that can touch my files? That's terrifying. Good instinct. Here's why you're safe. Harness has a dial with 3 positions. Read only. It can look, but it cannot touch. Workspace write, the default. It can create and edit files, but only inside the one folder you gave it. And full access. The training wheels come off. You are always the one holding this dial. It's this pill, right under the message box. Click it and there they are. Read only, workspace write. Full access. We're staying on workspace write for this whole course. That's the fence. To harness the rest of your computer simply does not exist. Quick guide to the 3 stops. Read only. Exploring a folder you'd never risk. Contracts, tax stuff, family photos. Ask it questions. It can't change a thing. Workspace write, your daily driver, and where we live for this entire course. Full access needed when a job has to install something or work outside the fence. You'll know when you need it and you'll turn it back down after. So, worst case, it makes a mess inside one folder that you gave it. That's the blast radius. That's why you can relax and let it work. And there's one more layer I use every single day. Plan mode. Type /plan before a job that matters. And Harness won't touch anything. It writes out exactly what it would do and stops. You read the plan like a contract. Only when you approve does the work start. Watch, because we're about to use it for real. Time to build. Type /plan. See the little orange chip. And then the brief in plain English. Mine says, build me a personal website in the My Site folder. 1 page. My name is Sam Carter. I'm a photographer. That's a placeholder name. Put yours here. A big headline, a short about section, 3 things I'm proud of, and a contact section. Modern, clean, dark theme. Send. It reads the folder first, checks what exists, finds my site empty, and then it plans. No files touched yet. That's plan mode doing its job. See what it's doing before writing a single line. It ran a command to look at the folder, checked what's already there, and found my site empty. It's the same think do check loop, but in plan mode, the DO is only allowed to be looking. Even its curiosity is fenced. And here's the contract. A plan review card. Read it with me. 1 page, dark theme, 3 files it wants to create, and I love this line. No frameworks, no build step, so the site runs anywhere with 0 dependencies. In human words, it's keeping it simple on purpose. 3 buttons. Chat about it, refuse, approve. If anything in the plan bothers you, you literally argue with it in chat first. This plan looks right. Approve. And now it builds. You're watching real time lapse here. The label shows how long this actually took. Files appearing, index.html, that's the page itself. Styles, the clothes it wears. Watch the meter tick while it works. Watch the left side of files being born, index.html first, the skeleton and all the words. Now the styles file, colors, spacing, that dark theme we asked for. It even told us it's skipping frameworks, so the site runs anywhere. It made an engineering decision, told us about it, and moved on. This is the part that used to be a $50 an hour job, by the way. A one page site with clean styling from a written brief in under a minute. And the whole time, the meter's ticking in tokens. Thousands of a cent at a time. Nearly done. It's doing its own final check pass now. Done. 6 steps, about 50 seconds of actual work. And the meter says the whole build cost about a penny. 85% of what it read came from cache again, which is the quiet superpower of this tool. Let's look at what we just got. That did not exist a few minutes ago. A real page with a headline, an about section, the three things, a contact section, dark theme, like we asked. Is it perfect? No. And that's exactly the point of the next module. Here's how you actually work with this thing day to day. Like texting a contractor who's standing in the room. Short messages. One change at a time. Look, say the next thing. Make the headline section bolder and more dramatic. Send. That's the whole message. Watch it find the file, make the edit, done. Watch how surgical it is. It's not rebuilding the page, it found the exact section, and it's editing just the headline block. A few seconds, done. Refresh, look, next thought. That rhythm, small ask, quick look, next ask, is exactly how you'd work with a good contractor, and it's why this never feels like programming. Add a simple photo gallery section with 6 placeholder tiles. Send. Notice what I'm not doing. I'm not explaining how. It knows how. I'm describing what I want to see. A photo gallery is a bigger ask. New section, new layout, 6 tiles. So it takes a little longer, and you can see it checking its own work as it goes. There it is. 6 placeholder tiles, ready for real photos whenever Sam or you drags them in. Now the most useful sentence in this course. On my phone, the gallery section looks cramped. Check the page on small screens and fix whatever is wrong. I didn't diagnose anything. I described a symptom and it hunts down the cause itself. Describe the symptom, not the fix. That one habit is half of what makes people good at AI. Now watch it hunt. I gave it a symptom. So first, it has to find the disease. It's reading the layout rules, checking what happens at phone width, found something, fixing. This run takes the longest of the three, and that's the point. It's doing the diagnosis I couldn't. And there's the result. Bolder header, gallery, and it squeezes down to phone width without breaking. Meter check. Everything so far. The folder job, the whole website, 3 rounds of changes. Still just a few cents. We'll read the full bill at the end. Power tool number 1, skills. Everything we've typed so far, we typed fresh. A skill is a recipe card you write once. When I say X, here's exactly how I like it done. And from then on, it's one word. And here's the beautiful part. You don't write the recipe. You ask the worker to write its own. Create a skill called tidy folder. When I ask for it, organize the current folder by type, never delete anything, and give me a one-line summary. Send. It writes the skill file itself. There it goes, writing its own instructions file. That file is the skill. My rules, written down, saved in the workspace. Organize by type, never delete, one line summary. It's literally documentation it will follow later. An employee writing their own job description, getting it approved, and filing it. Now the payoff. Use the tidy folder skill on the supplier files folder. One sentence, no instructions, no reminders, just the name of the recipe. Watch what it does with it. It pulls the recipe, checks the folder against it, and look at the answer. Nothing to move. Every file is already sitting in a type subfolder because this recipe already ran here once. I love this result more than a busy one. It didn't invent work to look useful. It followed the recipe, verified the folder, and gave me exactly the one line report the recipe demands. Same rigor every single time, including the time the right answer is already done. That's what a system is. Power tool number 2. Your worker can hire helpers. Give it a big job and permission to split it. And it runs several smaller workers at the same time, then pulls the results together. Real job: read every file in supplier files and combine them into one clean report with a totals table. Use subagents to work in parallel. Watch the rows. It splits the pile and sends helpers through the files in parallel, then pulls everything back together. There's the split. You can see it delegating. And now, several helpers are reading different files at the same time. Each one comes back with its piece, and the boss assembles the report. 8 files is queued. The same move works on 800. One finished report. 8 purchase orders, 4 vendors, a clean line item table, and a total section that adds up to the correct number, $432. This is the module to remember at work tomorrow. Any pile of files that needs to become one summary. This is that. Last power tool, and the one that feels like the future. Everything so far. You say a thing, it does a thing, it stops. Autopilot is different. You give it a goal, and the loop keeps circling. Try, check, improve again until the goal is met. Type/goal then. Go through my website and fix every broken thing you can find. Improve the wording. Make sure it loads fast. Keep working until you find nothing left to fix. Then stop. Send it. And now I'm going to go make a coffee. Time lapse is labeled. So, what does it actually do with an open ended goal? Watch. It made itself a checklist. Check every page, wording, speed. Now it's going through the site file by file, fixing as it goes. I'm not answering questions. I'm not approving each step. The fence approves for me. Back. 32 steps while I was gone, reading pages, fixing wording, checking itself. And see this banner at the top? Ongoing goal. That's Autopilot seatbelt. You can pause it, edit it, or delete it anytime with one click. And remember, the whole time, the fence was on. Autopilot plus workspace. Right. Power and the padlock. Never run one without the other. So, how do you trust work you didn't watch? This tab, trajectory, it's a flight recorder. Every single step is in here. What it read, what it wrote, what it ran, in order with timestamps. Scroll it, click into a step. Spot check 2 of them. Scroll it with me. System, the standing instructions. User, what I asked. Think, its reasoning, saved word for word. Tool, every file it read or wrote with the exact details. This is the part that changed how I feel about AI doing real work. Nothing it does is a mystery afterwards. It's all right here. That's the habit that separates people who get burned from people who don't, and it fits on one card. Trust, but check. Let it work like a pro. Review it like a boss. 10 seconds of checking buys you total confidence. Before the final bill, rapid fire answers to the questions you're probably sitting on. No fluff, real answers, some of them with fine print nobody else reads out loud. Does this work on Windows? Yes. Install Node from the same website, open PowerShell instead of terminal, type the exact same command. Everything after that happens in the browser, which looks identical on every computer. The PDF has both paths. Is it private? Here's the honest version, because this matters. The tool runs on your computer. Your files sit on your machine, and the fence controls what it can touch. But the thinking happens on DeepSeek servers. Whatever the worker reads for a job, the file names, the website text, gets sent to the AI to think about, like any ChatGPT conversation would be. So, my rule: fine for websites, notes, and everyday files. Not for passwords, client secrets, or anything you're not allowed to share. Keep those out of the workspace folder, and the worker literally cannot see them. What about the model menu? Flash versus Pro. Everything you watched today ran on V4 Flash, the default. Pro is the bigger brain and costs about 3 times more per answer. My advice for your first month: don't touch the menu. Flash handled a website, skills, helpers, and Autopilot for 13 cents. When you hit a job where Flash visibly struggles, that's the day Pro is worth it. It's one click in the same pill. Is it actually free? The tool. Genuinely free. Open source, MIT license. Nobody bills you for harness itself. The thinking, pennies, prepaid from the $5 you loaded. There is no subscription anywhere in this video. And a bonus most people miss: DeepSeek charges half price during off peak hours, nights, and weekends for most of the world. So the same job can literally cost half depending on when you run it. What if it breaks something? 3 seatbelts you already know. The fence means it can only touch the course folder. The flight recorder means you can see exactly what changed. And files are just files. My favorite undo is typing. You changed something I didn't like, put it back the way it was. It reads its own history and reverses itself. That's a real thing you can do. And the question I'd be dodging if I skipped it: is this as good as the paid tools? Claude Code, Codex? Honest answer: on the hardest professional jobs, no. The frontier tools are stronger. And that's why they cost real money. But that's not what this is for. For learning this whole way of working. And for the everyday jobs you saw today: organizing, building, reporting, autopilot. Harness does it for pennies, and nothing teaches you the workflow better than a tool where mistakes cost a fraction of a cent. Last one. What if your screen doesn't match mine? This is preview software moving fast. Buttons will move, and that's normal. The ideas, the loop, the fence, plan mode, the flight recorder, those are the permanent part. And I keep the companion PDF current. So if a screen changes, the PDF has the new one. Okay, the whole course on one card. Rule 1: one message, one change. Small asks beat big asks every time. Rule 2: describe the symptom, not the fix. It's a better detective than you need to be. Rule 3: do not delete anything on every cleanup job. 4 words, 0 regrets. Rule 4: plan mode before anything that matters. Read the plan like a contract, then approve. Rule 5: autopilot only with the fence on, power, and the padlock. And rule 6: trust, but check. After any big job, 10 seconds in the flight recorder. Tape those 6 to your monitor, and you're honestly ahead of people who've used these tools for months. So here's where you are right now if you followed along. a real website you described into existence, an organized folder, a skill, a report built by a team of helpers, and an autopilot pass, all from plain English. Scroll back through what happened in one sitting. You installed a real tool with one command. You handed it a mess and got order back. You read a plan, approved it like a boss, and got a website. You taught it a skill it will never forget. You watched it manage helpers, and you watched it work alone, safely, while you did something else. That's not a demo. That's a working setup you now own. One more job, the graduation job. Putting your site on the real internet needs a tool that lives outside our fence. So, for the first and only time, I'm turning the dial to full access. And look at that. It doesn't just let me. A warning in plain English and a box I have to tick. I understand the risks. This is what a good power tool looks like. Tick, enable. Training wheels off, eyes open. The job in plain English. Put the My Site website online using the Vercel command line tool as a new project, answer the prompts yourself, and tell me the live address when it's done. Vercel's free tier is how half the internet ships side projects. Now watch it work. It checks my folder, checks the tool is installed. One honest heads up here. The first time on your machine, it will ask you to sign into Vercel. Free account, one browser click, one time. Mine was already signed in from my own projects, so it sails straight through. And done. Read that line with me. The site is live with a real address. And it didn't just claim it, it went and checked. HTTP 200 verified. It linked the project, shipped the files, confirmed the result. Think, do, check. The loop. One last time, all the way to the internet. There it is. Not a file on my computer anymore. A website on the internet that anyone on earth can visit. And it squeezes down to a phone perfectly. Say this out loud because it's true now. I described a website into existence and shipped it for pennies. Then I flipped the dial back to workspace right. And after your own deploy, you should too. Now the receipt I promised. Account balance before I started today. $1.63. Balance after everything, huh? The folder, the website, every fix, the skill, the helpers, autopilot, and even my own retakes behind the scenes. $1.50. So the whole course, with my mistakes included, cost 13 cents. Every claim in this video you watched happen. Your capstone. This week, pick one boring task from your real life and hand it to Harness as a job. Not a demo, a real one. That's how this sticks. Everything from today. The commands, the briefs, word for word, the safety card, the fixes, the capstone checklist is in the companion PDF. Comment the word HELM, HELM, and I'll send it over. Just getting started with AI tools? I keep 4 step-by-step beginner playbooks: Claude Code, Codex, Cowork, and the certification prep kit. They're paid, they're beginner first, and the links are in the description. And if you want to support this channel directly, there's a join button right under this video. That's the strongest way to keep these full free courses coming. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. That's the course. You have the tool, the habits, and the receipts. Go hand it something boring and enjoy what comes back. See you in the next one.